Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we're doing my review for Batman vs Superman. This is my most anticipated film of the year, so let's get started. So let's start off with the plot, and of course this is Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. Now the purpose of this film is to really set up the next installments of the DC universe with the Justice League and also, you know, the Flash, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, all those singular movies that we're going to see later on. This kind of essentially sets them up, introduces a new Batman, a new take on Batman, and sort of continues Man of Steel's plotline. So it's a lot of movies mashed together in one to make one movie. So the movie starts off with Bruce Wayne getting a chopper into Metropolis to try and save some friends who are stuck in a building, and it's his perspective of Superman and General Zod battling it out at the end of Man of Steel. So this is where the movie begins, and then it continues on from there. So you get to see his perspective. He's watching them all fight through the city, and his friends basically die, and that's how he gets his anger towards Superman, and kind of is his driving motivation. You know, that what if this happens again? What if he goes way overboard? Superman could essentially level the entire world if he got angry enough. Batman also gets these visions later on. It's a very cool post-apocalyptic vision, and I think this is where the controversy with Batman killing people, because this Batman kills people apparently, but this is the vision. It's a vision he's having. So in the vision he is killing people. I will get onto his fighting kind of style that he has in real life in the movie. But in the vision he is killing people, and it's basically a vision of Superman apocalypse where he's taken over the world, and it's Batman. He's kind of the resistance group, and he's taking on Superman after Superman's destroyed the world. That's kind of a vision, and that's where his motivation comes from. Just basically he has to take this very seriously, that this alien Superman could level the entire place, and that's basically the driving point for Batman. But there's a lot of other plot points. It's very meshed together, that the way the film's handled it sets up the other films. It's not the best way they could have done it. So it's very messy, it's very choppy in places, but we'll see what the 3-hour R-rated version of the movie when it comes out. But anyway, let's get on to the rest of the movie. So the plot points were basically all given away in the second trailer, which is such a shame. It's just a dumb way of marketing the film. Why did they do that? How did they get the authority to release that trailer? But anyway, it is what it is, and sadly the plot takes a whole turn for the worse there. So you kind of already know all the 3 major plot points that are going to happen, but there are a lot of cool action sequences and scenes that weren't in the trailer, because of course it's a 2.5-minute trailer, and this is a 2.5-hour long film. Of course there's going to be a ton of stuff that you get to see and you get to look forward to when you watch the film. Now the actual fight going down between Batman v Superman is about 10 minutes, and it's a very cool fight, very brutal. It's very fun to watch. It's such a shame it was over too quickly. 10 minutes of the film, you know, I was kind of disappointed. It was a great fight. Batman just looked so cool in his suit of armor taking on Superman, but wow, was it short. I wish it went on for much longer. I wish they just cut out the end of the film and replaced it with more Batman v Superman stuff. They didn't need to have Doomsday in this film at all. They could have just had a longer drawn out fight between the two and just leave it from there, but sadly they just had to put in all this stuff that they didn't need. It's very convoluted. It's just a pity. And just the motivations, I wish that they kind of fought each other on their own terms and not because they're forced to fight, which, now I don't really want to give away while they're fighting because no spoilers, but of course Lex Luthor, so there is a little conspiracy going on in the back, but you have to watch the film for yourself, and I do recommend watching the film to see what the actual reason why Superman and Batman are fighting. Definitely go watch it. So that was it for the plot and story. You know, it could have been handled better, but it is what it is, and what we got it's still a fun movie. Lots of great action sequences. so I'm not too overly impressed with the plot, but you know, what can you do? So of course, Zack Snyder is a visionary director. This film looks amazing. He makes amazing looking films. I just wish they'd hire someone else to do the screenwriting and the story writing instead of Zack Snyder, because he's a great director, but he just can't handle the story parts. He just doesn't work as much as I'd like. But apart from that, the action sequences are flat out amazing. The cinematography is great. The camera angles are awesome. The sound design is fantastic. The music is brilliant. Hans Zimmer has once again done an amazing job. But yeah, it looks amazing. This is a great looking film. And Ben Affleck as Batman, this is probably the best looking Batman I've ever seen. Christian Bale's Batman by Christopher Nolan was definitely awesome as well, but I think Ben Affleck is easily one of the best Batmans. He's on par with Christian Bale, if not a little bit better than Christian Bale's Batman. This is more of a Batman film than a Superman film, because he definitely gets more screen time rather than Superman, and there's a whole political plot going on with Superman to try and get him to look like the bad guy. So that's like the first half of the film. It's very grounded, not much CGI, some really cool action sequences, can be a little dull in places, but apart from that, the first half was awesome. And then the second half of the film, you get the Batman v Superman fight, which is also very, very good looking as well. Amazing fight. And then the last half an hour is just this huge CGI explosion. It looks good, but it's a huge mess, and it just kind of feels very out of place within the film. I wish they just drawn out the Batman v Superman fight. I want to see Zack Snyder do something that's not just this huge CGI mess storm. I wanted the fight to go on a lot longer. I wanted them to fight more throughout the movie. So they could have done without the Doomsday plot at the end. It just felt a little too rushed for me. They shouldn't have had it in there. They should have just had more Batman v Superman. But yeah, a lot of people are really talking about how Batman kills people in this. Now that he full on actually does kill people with guns and breaks people's necks in the visions he's having, or in the dreams. But during the movie, in the actual sequences, it does look like he is killing people, not like deliberately with his hands, but with his Batwing. He is blowing trucks up with people on them, so I guess he is kind of killing them. Also, you see what I mean in this. There's a scene where he's trying to save someone. The warehouse scene, just amazing. Looks just fantastic. The cinematography, the fight choreography. Batman is a huge badass in this film. He full on just destroys and brutally fucks people up in this film, and just looks amazing. But you can see that he's trying to save someone, and the way he does it, you could say that he kills the bad guy, but he doesn't really do it himself. It's kind of the bad guy's fault. But yeah, he does kill people in this film. And I really like that take on Batman. It adds a new layer of grit to Batman, a new layer of darkness. It's good to see, because he's a 40-year-old Batman. You know, he's old. He's been through an entire life of fighting crime. He's had it. He's been pushed over the edge. He's like, maybe it is time to go over the edge and put a stop to the criminals for good, So when you compare Batman v Superman to Man of Steel, I think Man of Steel was definitely more focused. I had a little bit more fun with it. I enjoyed it a little bit more than Batman v Superman. There was a few little jokes here and there in Batman v Superman. It definitely felt a lot more sloppy, and just kind of random scenes that people who are huge comic book fans will find that a little odd and very choppy, but people who are just general audiences who just want to go see an action film and just see Batman v Superman, they're not gonna see the crucial references to the comic books, and they're just gonna see it a little differently to people who are massive comic book fans who notice all the little references in there. So depending on what kind of viewer you are, you're gonna have a different take on the film, definitely. So in the end, did I enjoy Batman v Superman? Yes, of course I did. It was a fun movie to watch. Very choppy in places. Hopefully the actual Blu-ray release with the 3-hour runtime will kind of fill in some of the plot points that just don't kind of make sense. It did feel rushed in places, even though it's a long movie. I just feel like they trying to kind of crammed too much stuff in. They didn't really focus on the Batman v Superman stuff enough. They kind of had all these little extra pieces to set up the next Justice League films, but I still enjoyed it. I'm going to give Batman v Superman a B-. But anyway guys, B-. Leave your comments in below. Please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the film. I'll see you next time.